Hello everyone, how you going, and welcome to What Could Go Wrong. As it says, the best place to learn what not to do. You know, these people give plenty of examples to the everyday situations where you just go, really? That is how you decide to go about doing whatever it is you might be doing? You know, surely there was other ways about going about it that just would have been safer or easier, just more efficient in general, you know. All in all, it just really sums up to, as it says, what could go wrong? Well, let's jump straight into it. I will knock it down with my hands in my pockets. What could go wrong? Oh yeah, just a little... I did not expect that. I didn't know what was going on. Obviously, they've been chopping down a tree and whatnot. What was he even trying to do? You know, surely that tree is sturdy enough to the point where having your hands in your pockets and just kind of lightly tapping it isn't going to do anything to it. Even though you chopped it down doesn't mean you've got rid of all of its roots. But for those of you who have never had to uproot a tree before, they really do lull you into a false sense of security about how easy it's going to be. You know, like this guy, suddenly he thought he was going to be smooth sailing, you know, just push it over, no worries. But really, they have so much given them before they actually go. It's just ridiculous. I reckon unless that tree is completely dead, you're going to have to try and strap it to a car and drive away, because there's no way you're just going to be able to kick it over, as this guy so perfectly showed us. Really, he's just lucky he didn't embarrass himself more by ripping a hole in his pants or something, or at least I didn't see anything like that. So yeah, I guess once again it proves the point that Mother Nature is stronger than the rest of us. It does what it wants with us, you know, whether it be cyclones, floods, earthquakes, or just even trees, you know, it just always manages to get the better of us. And well, maybe not all of us would have fallen for this situation. This guy certainly did. Error 404, load securing not found. Hang on, it looks kind of strapped down. Look, the straps here. Well, I guess these ones look recently untied. I can't imagine they were driving along like that, surely. Wait, hang on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Actually, no, that was not strapped down correctly at all. Wow, he has had to do some emergency braking or something. That is crazy. Oh my goodness, it came all the way through the front as well. I mean, it makes sense if you've got, I don't know, 20 tons of Rio or whatever it may be, just suddenly traveling forward at, I don't know, 100k an hour, and just after you hit a dead stop, it is going to leave a hell of a mark. But yeah, that's why in box trucks and things, everything always has to be pushed up to the headboard. Otherwise, they just get a run up and come slamming through. It's ridiculous. But wow, I don't know. It kind of looked as though it was strapped down in some places. Obviously not enough though. That is just crazy scary. That driver is just so lucky that he was just sitting a little bit higher than where it actually came through the truck. So yeah, obviously it was someone's fault, whether the truck driver just hooked up the trailer and didn't check the load and someone else didn't do it, even though that's technically his fault as well. But you know, when people are in a rush, often it's just assumed that things are good, they back it up, then they go. You know, they don't have time to be mucking around. They got 14-hour drive ahead of them. But yeah, I wonder what caused him to brake so hard that they just come flying through. Either way, it's just crazily lucky that it didn't get him. So yeah, I guess that's the lesson for today. Strapped on your loads, if not for everyone else's safety, at least for yours, you know? Just everyone on the road is safer if you just strap down the loads correctly. I think I'd be pretty right in saying that no one wants, like this guy, 20 tons of rebar flying through their front windscreen or flying at them from the truck in front of them. So go on now, everyone, strap your loads down, for goodness sake. What could go wrong leaving the windows open at sea? Oh no, what is going on here? Look at that breeze. Oh my goodness. Is this a cruise ship or something? Why does it look so fancy and like a door number? Oh my goodness. But I guess it does get super breezy out on the water. Look at this guy, he can barely open the door. Oh my goodness, the wind. Wow. I've never been on a cruise, but I wonder if that's something they warn you about. You know, obviously most people, I guess, don't get windows, but still I wonder for the window people if they let you know, do not leave your windows open. It might change in an instant. But wow, that is a tremendously strong wind. The fact that he can't even open the door to get into the room and whatnot, I'm surprised there's not more damage just inside as things have been chucked around by this cyclone inside your bedroom. I mean, I guess it is a cruise ship and everything's kind of bolted down or at least attached. I imagine, you know, if you get a big swell, you don't want just bed just flying around and whatnot. But still, like I said, if you've got a cyclone in your bedroom, it's just incredible that nothing's been broken. But hey, as crazy as this situation might be, it seems like they're all fine. You know, it's a hell of a unique situation to be in, and they're just smiling about it, even though he's frantically trying to close the window. I wonder how many days into the cruise this is. So, you know, I wonder if it's the first night and you won't do it for the rest of the 2 weeks that we're on the cruise, or if it's the last day and you go, wow, I'm lucky I didn't have to deal with this the whole time. Or maybe it's more along the lines of, how did I not realize this sooner? Either way, it'd be super confronting. You're just going, wow, what the hell? This is the strongest aircon I've ever felt. You know, just blowing under the doors, you come back to the room. But either way, they certainly won't do that again. What could go wrong hitting a spray paint can with a shovel? Now, surely we all know how this is going to end up. Oh my goodness, no, I didn't expect it to actually go completely on him. I guess it makes sense because the angle that you hit it on, you know, it's likely that you're going to hit that edge that is angled at you. So of course it comes back at you. I never even thought about it. I knew it was going to explode, you know. It's a pressurized can of paint. What else is it going to do? But the fact that it just got completely covered is great. But I mean, besides getting completely covered in paint, it's certainly not something you want to do, you know. He's actually quite lucky. That could have gone so much worse, you know. The paint cans shrapnel as it completely explodes or something. There were so many other possibilities possible dangers with doing this, so do not do this at home, you know? And I wonder if this was a dare, or did he get tricked into it, or what? How did this happen in the first place? Did he just decide that that's what he wanted to do? Oh, wouldn't it be funny to just shovel this spray can, you know? No, actually it won't be. You'll end up as you did. You know, this guy seemed to have got off relatively unharmed, you know? He's completely in one piece, and he still seems to see straight and whatnot. And so, hey, you know, he might go home feeling pretty blue that day, but I'm sure if his friends dared him to do this or something, he will not take him up on it, even if they were paying next time. Building a highway in a swampland, what could go wrong? Oh, wow, that is an expensive mistake. See, this is the side of engineering that is just so impressive. All of the surveying and all the engineering that just goes into the foundations of any build is just so impressive. Whether it's a skyscraper like the Burj that has hundreds of thousands of ton, you know, resting on this relatively small footprint in the scheme of things, or bridges in the middle of the ocean and how that doesn't corrode, or, you know, just down to highways in a swampland like this. How do you manage that water flow so it doesn't just demolish it? And, you know, this certainly isn't the first road to be built in a swampland, so obviously someone's stuff up here, whether it's the engineering or surveying, whatever it was, even the construction process. But still, I wonder how you even go about fixing that, because, you know, no traffic can get through for however long. You know, if it was only one side of the road, you could just bulldoze part of the fence and let traffic go through down the other side and have full traffic control. But when it's both sides of a highway, how do you even manage that? You know, it's a two-lane, two-way highway. I just don't see how you kind of fix this in a reasonable amount of time to get all that traffic back on the road. So anyway, hopefully it got fixed quickly, but either way, it's going to be a really expensive build to redo that. Like I said, you got to redo all the foundations with extra stuff in it. You might have to completely tear up that entire bit of the road. Who knows? You know, you don't want to fix this part and then it just funnels all the water into another part and then it wipes out that section and then you fix that bit and then, like, you'll just be chasing your tail the entire time. So yeah, obviously it's a what could go wrong, but it's really just someone's head on the chopping block here. What could go wrong standing close to a flag? Wow, look at the size of that flag. Where is that? What, is that the Mexican flag? I didn't really see it. Oh my goodness, it just picked up someone. When did that even happen? Are they in there from the beginning or what? How long are they in there for? Goodness, they've been in there forever. That entire video clip they weren't in there for. That is the biggest flag I've ever seen. Wow, it just must have come down and just wrapped at the perfect moment where it just was able to just scoop them up and flick them out. I think this is one of the most ridiculous video clips I've ever seen, and I guess it also belongs on Unexpected, you know? Like, you know, it doesn't look as though there's anything wrong with this. It's just a big flag with a whole bunch of people, and then suddenly, like, you know, it gives birth to a human. And I feel as though in all the engineering and all the safety reporting of building something like this, no one would ever even consider that a flag might pick someone up. So I wonder if this happens a lot, or if this is a 1 in a million chance. I feel as though it has to be a 1 in a million chance, but I guess if it's constantly windy and you've constantly got people, like, there's always a chance. So yeah, that's one hell of a roller coaster ride for that guy, and I'm sure they've put up some barricades or something now, just going, you know, do not cross this line, the flag may eat you if you cross it. What could go wrong? Not wearing a seatbelt. This is why you need to wear a seatbelt, well, and all times as well. It's just so easy to do it. Oh my goodness. Oh, no way. They send the bus. I imagine it's a bus or a truck cascading into someone's house. Oh my goodness, they threw themselves off the seat. How moronic do you have to be to throw yourself off the seat of the bus that you were driving? I feel as though that really takes a certain caliber of person to do that. Look at that idiot. And it looks as though there's a phone or something on their lap, as though they weren't even paying attention. Goodness, this is just a complete trifecta. And really, this is just a perfect ad for dash cams, isn't it? You know, they got the front view and the rear view, and it just shows everything wrong that this driver did. From being on the phone, no seatbelt, no nothing. Oh my goodness. And then just crashing into the person's house. Luckily, it didn't seem to wipe or destroy anything really on the house, just the front lawn. And sure, they may argue that that is the flattest seat I've ever seen and it has no bolstering in it. Maybe could do with a little bit more just to help you kind of sit in there. But really, like they said, a seatbelt would have caught you and not made you just completely fly off. And really, if you're taking a corner like that at the speed that it gets flung off in a truck, there is certainly something wrong with your driving. You should not be taking a corner that fast in a truck, especially when you're getting flung off that easily. So yeah, I certainly don't think there was much thinking involved in this whole thing. What could go wrong trying to fish on live TV? Why does that look like sunrise or something? I never know who's who. I think this is sunrise maybe. I don't know. Channel 9 or Channel 7, they both have their own, and Channel 10, I guess they all have their own thing. I wonder when this was. Lake Monster. That was just a human. Alright, so people think there's some kind of shark in this pond. What's going on with this lake, I guess? Yep, that's typical.
That was a very big build-up.
Oh, and there we go. It is the Today Show.
We got to take these claims.
Surely there's nowhere that there's a shark in the lake. I don't even know what's going to happen here. Surely there's going to be some shark come out of the water or something. You know, he's meant to be a shark expert, and surely he's going to prove him wrong. One chance to catch a shark. Oh my goodness! Don't tell me he's going to catch it. Or what is he going to catch? Let's see. After all that smack talk in the beginning, all right, let's have a look at this shark expert.
I got a bird.
Oh, they got a bird. No way, they got a bird. Oh, how did he manage that? How do you manage to get a bird with a lure? Oh my goodness, poor bird.
Peking duck, anyone?
Oh my goodness, Carl, that is just so bad. Why is Carl Stefanovic just so able to be clipped at any moment, you know? All from the start where he's talking about a big build-up leading to nothing, and then the guy agreed and they had this whole tussle for 20 seconds, and then, you know, Peking duck at the end. Oh
Peking
my
duck,
goodness, this whole clip is just woeful. You know, listen to the crew in the background just going, that is just horrible,
Peking
Carl.
duck.
But the poor duck, how has he managed to do that? I imagine it got wedged in its feathers or something. Hopefully the duck was alright, because that was a big lure, so I can only imagine that's big hooks on it too. And so yeah, you know, like I said, if you typed up Carl Stefanovic YouTube clips, there is so many of him, you know, just doing this and that, innuendos at the wazoo so many times that he's just not able to keep it together. But yeah, I guess this is some of the problems with live TV. You don't get to cut something like this out or redo it or anything. So it gives us some gold kind of clips, but it also gives us some poor ducks that just get trapped by a lure. So yeah, really it's a what could go wrong, but it's also what are the chances that you hook a duck? Like, I don't even think I've ever heard of someone doing that. So yeah, like I said earlier, hopefully the duck was alright. What could go wrong looking a dog in the RV? Oh my goodness, that dog has scratched its way out, I can only imagine. What is it? Just head-butted its way through, or I don't know, that is some really, really thin walls. But the fact that it can just get through that plastic, I mean, it must be so thin, that is ridiculous. And although it's a limited view of the RV, you know, it doesn't look as though it's very old, and it's not like it's been UV damaged for the last 40 years. I have no idea how that dog managed to do that. I mean, good on it that if it's stinking hot, it managed to get its way out, but still, that is ridiculous. There's just so many things in this image that just don't make sense. I imagine coming back to your RV though and just seeing that sight, you'd go, what has just happened here? But hey, like I said, if it was getting really hot in there, good on the dog for just kind of doing what it needed to do to get some air, because man, there's just too many stories of dogs in cars and dogs in RVs and whatnot. So yeah, I can't imagine that whole being a cheap and easy fix, but still, good on the dog for doing what it needed to do. What could go wrong underestimating the power of the recoil? Alright, what has he got? Some sort of shotgun at a firing range, I imagine? I have no idea, I've never been to one, but that looks like something I've seen in movies though. Alright, so he's shooting from the hip. I can't imagine that being the most conducive way to shoot. I thought it usually is in your shoulder, so you get the full kind of impact, but your body weight behind it. Oh my goodness, that thing took off like a rocket. Whoa, he barely had any grip on it. Wow. Let me see that again. Look at that. He just pulled the trigger and it went to Mars. And the guy next to him was like, what just happened? What am I looking at? But wow, I wonder if this happens a lot or not. You know, I would think that they would give you kind of some training or whatnot, but maybe not. I have no idea. You know, surely there's some kind of safety protocols that they have to go through and see if you're, you know, the right kind of fit for the gun. Or maybe not. Maybe they just go, just don't point it at people and we'll all be good. But it also looks as though he's got another gun on his thigh or something here, unless that's accreditation and nothing else. No, there's certainly a gun there. So yeah, maybe anyone in the comments could tell me a little bit more about what's going on here, because you know, like I said, I've never been to a firing range, but like I said, isn't it meant to be in the shoulder, so you kind of take the weight in your shoulder instead of it just firing off behind you like a rocket? You know, his stance there was kind of mobster shooting, you know, from the hip, just blind fire. And hey, yeah, it's a shotgun, it's not an accurate weapon, but still, obviously, it's not the best way to go about it. So yeah, I'm certainly learning a few things today, but this is one that I feel as I already knew, and surely there is just someone going, look mate, just do not fire it like that. Damn, I just served lunch and I'm not to be blamed for what happens next. What is going on? Wait, what, lunch for who? Wait, what? What is that, a horse? Oh no, oh no, that is so mean. Oh wow. Whoa, what accuracy for the horse to chuck the human off into the pool. I did not expect that. The fact that the horse heard that and then just came running is hilarious. I always feel as though this could be staged, but just that scream just makes me feel as though it's not. This just has to be a sibling being mean to their other sibling, surely. Surely there's no one else on the planet that would do this to someone. The fact that you've realized that they're riding the horse and it's around the time that the horse gets fed and it knows and it just comes sprinting at you. But I think this is the first post today that the affected person isn't the culprit of the what could go wrong, you know, like this poor girl on the back of the horse who's just riding along and then all of a sudden she gets influenced by a sibling. But oh man, just the fact that she gets flung off into the bathtub, it just doesn't make sense how it can be real. How does the horse know that that's going to be kind of the softest landing? But I mean, to be fair, lunch is lunch, you know. I've seen plenty of people run way faster than that horse to get to lunch. So I certainly don't blame her for anything, you know. I'm sure that if I was pretty hungry, I'd come running too, regardless of who I had on my back. I will let her play with my skirt. What could go wrong? Oh no, a little kid is just gonna, oh no, is that a front, front zipper? I feel as though that doesn't really make sense to have a front zipper. I feel as though that could just so be easily knocked, let alone just a little kid just pulling it down. But wow, even though she turned away, obviously you would, but at least you seem to laugh it off, you know. Oh, that's great. Little kids are just so curious and they just pull anything they want. But really, like I said, I feel as though that's a little bit too easy. I feel as though there should be a little bit of a locking pin or something to stop it just kind of go whoop like that it just did there. But I don't know if the lady really let her play with the skirt. You know, it was kind of a half second of, oh, what are you doing? And then she just pulled down the zipper. I feel as though that lady's never going to wear that skirt again because she's just going to be horrified and have PTSD of the fact that it could just kind of pop down at any moment. You know, from the background, it kind of looks as though she's out of public and she's just got her pants pulled down, basically. So, hey, obviously no one really got injured in this, but man, would you just be so embarrassed and kind of confused and in shock that you would just be distraught. Your night would definitely be ruined after that. What could go wrong when you teach the not so savvy how to play VR? Alright, oh no, is that a kind of grandma or whatnot playing VR? What are they doing? A roller coaster or a Beat Saber? What's going on? Let's see what the game is. Oh my goodness, it's that one with it on the plank. That one must be so scary. I've never been able to do VR, but I've seen so many people just freak out. Oh my goodness, this is not going to end well. Wow. Really? Oh no, she just dived. Why did she dive? What is going through people's heads? Why would she just dive off the building? It just doesn't make any sense. Why would she have just dived off the building either way, you know? It's not like she has a parachute. I feel as though, considering he's got a drink in his hand, that there was a few drinks involved in this first. I just can't see how any rational person would make this decision, regardless of it's VR or not, you know? It just doesn't make sense to just dive off. You know, they say just step to the right, you'll float, and she just goes, really? And just dives off the beam. None of it makes sense. What was just going through her head besides a wall? I mean, I'm sure plenty of other people have done this, you know, and considering everyone is laughing, she can't be too injured. She probably woke up with a bit of a headache or a bump on her head, but still. But what is it with what could go wrong that is so many of these posts are either really physically bad or just totally embarrassing? You know, for this one, she's just never going to live down the time that she dived face first into a wall. Just the fact that he says right here, it's not real, you know. So yeah, really, I just can't comprehend what steps that they went through to get to this moment, but man, is she lucky she didn't injure herself more. At the top of what could go wrong for the month is forgetting to switch to the alt account. Oh no, of course that's a political related thing. What Trump built in 4 years, just Biden will destroy in 4 months, blah de blah. You mean to what Obama built in 8 years, blah de blah de blah. And then, oh no, Dean Browning, I am a black gay guy and I can personally say that Obama did nothing for me. Oh my goodness, that is just ridiculous. The fact that this got through. You know, I've often wondered if politicians actually run their own Twitter accounts or if there's a team of people just behind the scenes just running it for them. This is obviously a case where this guy does not have a team of people running it for him because there is no way. My life has only changed a little bit. Everything is so much better. I feel respected, which I never do when Democrats are involved. Wow. You know, I almost don't know if this is what could go wrong, but I guess using an old account to fake things is what could go wrong, but really the actual post is just never right. Really, it's just complete fraud and just trying to use influence to sway people's minds. So man, I can only imagine that Reddit and Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, you name it, just ripped him a new one for doing this. You know, everyone knows that there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on in politics, but this is just so blatant. Oh my goodness. And really, it just shows that how many alt accounts are there then? You know, if this is just one guy, how many politicians and how many accounts each do they have? You know, maybe that's why Twitter's users just keep going up because it's just politicians making alt accounts. So yeah, I know nothing about this guy's politics, but really you just get the entire picture of the personality just from this little kind of screenshot here. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of what could go wrong for the month. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do the YouTube analytical things down below, like liking and commenting. Other than that, I've been posting a lot of these videos and maybe you want to check some of the other ones out. You know, there are plenty of posts on this sub that I reckon could be cross-posted to other places and that just fit perfectly in there too. Or maybe you want to consider subscribing so don't miss another one in the future, but all in all, have a good one and see ya.